Hour number 2 of the show, we're about to talk with Charles Barkley about everything going on in the world. Everything from the Final Four to Eric Church to, I don't know, let's work into a little Will Smith and Chris Rock with Charles Barkley as well. We bring in our buddy who you see on the Turner broadcast of the Final Four this weekend. You see him on TNT with the NBA, and our longtime friend Charles Barkley. Sir Charles, first let me tell you, I just got back from Las Vegas. I was there for the first opening weekend. In the sports book, I was 4 wins, 21 losses in the sports books there. I littered losing tickets all over your third favorite town in America, Las Vegas.
Yo, man, I said coming into this tournament, there would be like 20 teams that could win it. There was no great teams. There was not even close to a great team. So I think that somebody had 20 million brackets I saw. And after the first weekend, 19.9 million were all wrong. But that's what makes this tournament great. I mean, every year there's obviously St. Peter's was a Cinderella story. You know, Gonzaga going out early, even Auburn losing early is brutal. Very, and listen, let me address the Auburn thing. Bruce Pearl has done, it was a disappointing tournament, I want to first, but I try to be, think about, we're so spoiled at Auburn now because of Bruce Pearl. We actually won an NCAA game and we're disappointed. I mean, you think about that. Bruce Pearl, and listen, like I said, it was a disappointing they didn't go further, but I try to be a half empty, half glass full. That's how far Bruce has brought this program. We won a game in the NCAA tournament and lost, and everybody's disappointed. So even though it was disappointing, you got to give Bruce his flowers and say, yo, man, you're doing a great job, even though it ended sadly. But that's how far he's brought the basketball program.
After the injury to Villanova, it's hard to see them winning this thing, Charles. But all other three, to me, it's hard to separate these 3 teams. Kansas, Duke, and North Carolina, they've all got their flaws. They've all got their pluses. Duke's got this extra, Mike Krzyzewski weight on their shoulders, but it's kind of hard to separate these other 3 teams.
100% agree with you. I have zero idea who's going to win. Kansas might be the quietest number 1 seed ever. Yeah. Like, nobody has mentioned Kansas until they got to the Final Four. They played great every game. I don't think any of their games have been close, if I remember correctly. But obviously this weekend is going to be about Duke, North Carolina. But like I say, it's unfortunate that Justin got hurt for Villanova. But, man, I think they were going to have a very difficult time with him anyway. Because, man, Kansas is playing great. But so are North Carolina and Duke.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great Saturday. It's going to be great. I cannot wait. I always tell people, Saturday at the Final Four is one of the greatest things I've ever been a part of. It's nothing like it. When you have 15, 20,000 fans spread out cheer for their team when it starts around 6 o'clock, man, the energy in that building is crazy. And you factor in this year, they're going to be drunk. They're going to spend all day at Bourbon Street. I mean, think about that. They got to be, woo. I mean, the games don't start till 6 o'clock at night. So people are going to be getting blasted all day and then come in there drunk. So it's going to be exciting. And I cannot wait to get there.
Yeah, and North Carolina and Duke makes it special. I finally got to go to a Final Four when Auburn was up in Minneapolis, and it is a life-changing experience if you're a sports fan to just go to that Saturday of the Final Four. I want to ask you, when I'm watching your show and y'all did your brackets and Kenny had North Carolina going as far as he did, I was like, what a homer pick. I didn't see North Carolina making this run. Did you take him serious when he had North Carolina going that far, or did you think, too, that that's just a homer pick?
Yeah, I think that was just a homer pick, to be honest with you. He got lucky, but they have played great. Yeah, listen, and obviously we talked throughout the season about it, and I think he's surprised, pleasantly surprised. but they have played great. But yeah, I think when he initially picked it, it was clearly a homer pick.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. But them against Duke is going to be an amazing thing. This Coach K thing, to see his pure joy has really been a pleasant surprise for me to watch that. I mean, he is so enjoying his last ride. It's been pretty special. And like I say, hey, I think they got to be the favorite, to be honest with you.
Doesn't it say something about Hubert Davis that this team wasn't what it has turned into in December? And even though he's in his first year coaching, that a lot of coaches would have not rallied the locker room to have the second half of the season they had in this tournament run. To me, that tells, I mean, Coach K is going to get all the accolades and stuff, but to me, that says all I need to know about the head coach of North Carolina.
Well, I think the main thing is winning that game at that last game of the year. To me, that was the turning point for them. To go into that environment and winning that game, I think, I've said it on the show, I'm not just saying it now, I think going into Duke with the craziest, probably one of the craziest environments we've ever seen in sports, and to win that game gave them so much confidence. That's my honest opinion. I think that turned the switch over because they had a decent season before that. They lost some games they shouldn't have lost. But I personally think winning that game at Duke with all the pressure, think about it, had like 150 to 200 players there, national television all day. The student body was going crazy. And to win that game had to take their confidence to a whole nother level.
Charles Barkley is with us, the Hall of Famer, the great, on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. For some reason, I'm gonna act like Kenny Smith for a second. Do I get an RV? Would you use one? If we sent you one, would you use it, Charles?
Send you an RV.
I'd have to have a driver, brother. That thing's probably not. That thing's probably not. You know, I will tell you what's funny. So they're always trying to get me to do another book. And I said, you know, my books are very personal. I've written 5 so far. They all did really well. And I have nothing that I really want to talk about right now, to be honest with you, that I think is important or significant. But I did have an idea. I said, what if I got in an RV, went to every state, and played the best golf course in every state?
You would do that? You would do that for us, Charles?
You're a giver.
You know, no, seriously. No. It would be just something fun to do. Well, I mean, just think about that. I would go to every state. I'd see, quote unquote, you do your homework and due diligence. And you say, okay, talk to some golf pros. What's the best golf course in every state? I think it'd be fascinating. I would pick 3 random strangers. I let the club vote who they wanted to play with me. And I think it'd be fun just to do it.
Well, I mean, you're in the production industry now. You produce some television series and such. Why not? I mean, that would be a fantastic series. Barkley Plays America.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm working on my Bill Russell documentary right now that I'm really excited about. I got like 3 documentaries I'm working on, and I'm really excited. The production business is going really well for me. I'm just executive producer. I'm not going to be on camera. That's why I'm really leery about putting the golf thing. I'm just executive producing project right now. Round Mound Media that's all we're doing right now. So I got 2 or 3 documentaries that I'm working on, but that's it right now.
You spent a significant amount of time in the state of Georgia. The best course in Georgia is Augusta National. Have you played it, and do you have an end there? Because that may be a tough one to start with.
Well, I was supposed to play it Monday.
Oh no!
But I can't do it. It's just too much for me, to be honest with you, because the season ends not this Monday, the following Monday. So I was invited to play Monday, so the season ends on a Sunday. The NBA season ends next Sunday. So I got to work Sunday to 2:00 in the morning. I would have to leave Atlanta by 6 to make my tee time. But the problem is I've got to be back to work Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and I talked to Ernie about it, and he says, you got to do it. I said, man, that's just too much. I mean, like I said, we know you guys, we work to 2 a.m. We work from 7 to 2 a.m. And to get like no sleep probably and drive 2 hours, play Augusta, I'd be exhausted. But then I won't get a chance to enjoy it. So I told him I really appreciate the awesome offer, but I'm going to wait to it because I want to enjoy it. I don't want to be rushed. I want to enjoy the experience when I play Augusta.
Well, I don't want to get too personal, but do you feel like it's an invite that will stand? Like you'll get this invite again? I mean, it's not a once in a lifetime, right?
I think it's probably a one-time thing. It's a company that I just did a commercial for.
Okay.
And so we shot the commercial that's going to air doing the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they're going to come back next year. It depends on how good the commercials are, I guess.
I guess so.
Exactly.
I'd be pulling for those commercials. I'll pull for them for you, Charles.
So I'm excited about it. The commercials, I think they're going to be funny. But hey, listen, I'm patient. I do want to play Augusta to be a dream come true. It's so interesting with the Tiger stuff coming out.
Oh yeah.
So talking to all my guys who play the Masters, they said the one thing that I don't know if either one of you guys been there. They say it's the hilliest course they ever play.
Yep.
And you never get that from watching it on television. And I think that's why Tiger went there to see if his legs can hold up, because apparently it is the most hilly course you're ever going to play. But it doesn't look like that on TV. When they were telling me that, because I was asking about how about Tiger, they're like, Chuck, you got to understand, Augusta you can't tell from television. It's the hilliest course it's the hilliest course we play all year. And I was like, wow, it doesn't look like that on television. So I see why Tiger's having a hard decision whether his legs can hold up or not for 4 straight days.
Can you do me a favor? Can you click your camera back on? If some reason we lost it, it may be on our end or your end. Can you do that? Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Good to see you.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
good to see you.
No, that's
again.
okay. I wanted to ask you 2 quick questions because you always have a fascinating thought process when it comes to race in our country. First, my favorite football team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bruce Arians is stepping down and Todd Bowles is taking over, and Bruce says he always wanted Todd to take over for him. He's done a great job of trying to promote diversity, Bruce Arians has, in his time as being a head coach, both with African-American coaches and also with women assistant coaches. He wanted Todd to take over with Tom Brady at quarterback, with a good team, not taking over a bad team. I'd love your thoughts on just the opportunity that Bowles is getting of taking over a team that is a playoff Super Bowl contender and not having to do a building job.
Well, number one, we need more black coaches. They need the opportunity. They need opportunities, plain and simple. Same thing with the college level as far as when it comes to football. We just need more black coaches. They deserve the opportunity. White coaches get an opportunity to fail and come back and get jobs, but black coaches always get the crappy jobs. I'm glad he gave him a good job and not one where he's good luck and then 3 years you get fired. I think it's important to these black guys. They've earned it, get their opportunity. And listen, if they're not good at it, they deserve to get fired also. But the problem we've been having is they have not been getting the opportunity. I'm happy for Todd Bowles. Listen, BA, we don't call him Bruce Arians, we call him BA, is one of my favorite people in the world. He really talks about diversity a lot, and I'm with black coaches and women. And for him to be in a position of power to think like that, I think is really important. Listen, we can't complain about black people if we don't give them economic opportunity. We can't say that they're not doing this and this and this unless they get economic opportunity, which is really what this is about. So I'm happy about that situation. I really appreciate you asking me that question also.
Yeah, and I have one other because everyone saw, either on replay or not, what happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock. And it turned into, in some forums, a race discussion. And to me, it was just one man who was pissed off that somebody said something about his wife, and he slapped a man. Does that have to be a black discussion, or that could have been two white people, couldn't it?
Well, number one, I'm so glad you asked that question. See, this is the stupidity that I have to deal with when we having these race discussions. Has nothing to do with race. Let me just say this. I love Chris Rock. I've known him for a long time. I love Will Smith. I've known him since he was a teenager when he was singing national anthem at Sixers game. So Will Smith was 100% wrong. That's it. Listen, I'm not going to let these fools turn it into a race discussion. I'm not going to let these fools turn it into you protecting your woman. Will Smith was 100% wrong. He just did something really, really wrong and stupid. That's it. Now, see, this is the problem, guys, I have with all these fools on TV and radio and things like that. Don't muddy the water. Don't muddy the water, making it about race or protecting women or whatever. Will Smith was just wrong, period. I don't want to have any more discussion about black or white and this and this. And no. Will Smith, love Will Smith. He was just wrong. And I hate these idiots and fools and jackasses on television and radio trying to make it about race, about protecting women and things like that. Chris Rock is a comedian. They insult everybody at the Oscars. But Will Smith was 100% wrong, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to that's the problem we have in this country a lot of time when we're trying to have a conversation. And that's my phrase. I say, don't muddy the water. Answer the question, because you can find a reason for everything, Jim. You can find a reason for everything. Will Smith was just wrong. I don't want to counsel him. He what he did, I love him and Chris Rock, but what Will Smith did was wrong, plain and simple. And anybody, me and Shaq got into a little disagreement the other day because Shaq was like, yeah, he was defending his woman. I said, let me just tell you this. Anybody, I said it three times, think what Will Smith did is just an idiot and a fool. And he says, okay, I understand. You're right. Because you can't do that. And I'm going to leave it at that. Love Will Smith, love Chris Rock, but Will Smith was 100% wrong, brother.
He is the great Charles Barkley. Enjoy the Final Four, Charles. We always appreciate the time.
Anytime, brothers. Hey, where the hell is Lance at?
He's on vacation.
Spring break. Got the kids down at the beach.
Today's his birthday. You ought to shoot him a text because it's a significant number for him.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Give him some
Hey,
grief.
man, I just had 59. I'm like, damn, I can't believe I'm 60 years old.
He's tracking you down. You may want to give him some grief.
Hey, guys, I appreciate you guys. Y'all keep up the great work. I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Charles.
Enjoy
Take
New
care.
Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Charles Barkley, the great, with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.